Consider yourself a better artist or a better tattooer?
I don't know if the two are mutually exclusive for me, you know.
I know, but you have to draw artwork.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have artwork on your walls. What do you think you're better at?
I don't know. One usually helps the other. They usually work hand in hand, you know. If I spend a lot of time painting, even if it's non-tattoo related stuff, I find it helps me in ways I didn't even know it would help me in tattooing, you know. So I don't know if they're mutually exclusive like that. Like you know, because as soon as I get better at tattooing, I get better a little bit at drawing and doing the artwork. So you know, they usually help each other out.
Question: how did you come up with the name Providence Tattoo? And don't say it because it's in Providence. Seriously, how did that? Why'd you go Dennis Tattoo of the America? How did you go? Why did that? Because names are such a big marketing and branding today. How did Providence Tattoo come into fruition?
It was simple.
In Providence.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't make up an eloquent answer to that, Sandy.
So do you think that's why people like tattoos so much? Because they're photographic art, like visual representation of life moments, or something that means a lot to them?
Both. People like tattoos for different reasons. Some people like tattoos because it's sentimental, and that's largely effective because of the fact that it's on television, it's in pop culture, and the way it was presented on television, which is totally cool. But then some people wear tattoos as fashion, and they just want to wear it simply as a fashion accessory, and that's cool too. And you know, there's a lot of different reasons people wear tattoos. Some of them very spiritual, some of them very non-spiritual, like materialistic. But
now, what do you mean by materialistic?
Well, fashion can be materialistic.
Why do you go to Japan and go out there and study from those masters? What do you feel about the Japanese artists? Their whole work ethic?
I appreciate their work ethic more than anything, and just the, you know, there's a great lineage in American tattooing. It goes back a couple hundred years, but for them it goes back thousands of years, and it's also built to be on a wider scale as far as larger tattoos and how things work on the body on a larger scale. So there's a lot to learn there as far as composition. And
would you say on a whole they're more advanced than us, like the Americans versus the Japanese, because they've been doing it longer, or have we caught up, or what do you think it's?
I don't know if you can look at art that way, you know, because it's really in the eye of the beholder, you know. And I love both, and I don't necessarily think there's one better or worse, you know. I can't really pick a side there as far as progress goes, you know. I think in Japan they're very tradition oriented and stuff like that, and there's an interesting thing happening with the split from street facing shops versus you know, underground tattooing, which it predominantly was historically up until now. So there's interesting social things happening in Japan due to tattoos. Because like I said, tattooing, you know, in a nutshell, from my experience, is that girls want to look cute and guys want to look tough.
Oh yeah. People, the majority are going to have tattoos, or still the majority are going to be untattooed? I'm just talking you have one tattoo.
I think tattooing will still be around. I don't know to what capacity.
Right, but I'm saying with the increased popularity of it and an increased, the less stigma attached to it, do you think everyone's going to have, 80% of the population is going to have a tattoo?
It's hard to say, you know. I mean, in fact, I have a good friend that he's been tattooing longer than me, and he said when certain magazines came out, everybody looked around in tattooing and said, "Oh, this is the beginning of the end. You know, this is when it's gonna max out, and we're gonna make, it's gonna blow up in our faces, and we're all gonna end up shutting down and getting real jobs or whatever." And then when the TV shows came out, they said the same thing, and so there's always something coming up that's sort of determining the beginning of the end, and it doesn't ever really go anywhere. So I'm assuming that it'll still be around, and I can't tell you to what capacity. You know, I can't pontificate on whether tattooing will still be around, but I can tell you I don't lose much sleep worrying about it either way. There's so many opinionated tattooers that like to tell you everything they know and how they think everything is. And that ain't me. Because I'm trying to stay open-minded and willing to learn a little bit. And I find a closed mind doesn't really, if I told you I know something, then I'm not open to learn anything. So I could tell you how it is and how the world is, but that's my little view from my little perspective. Not really the end all be all of it. Which some people get wrapped up in thinking that they are.